Emma was an ordinary woman living a quiet life in her small town. She worked as a librarian, enjoyed baking on weekends, and spent her evenings reading by the window. Though her life was simple, Emma had always believed in the power of kindness. She often volunteered at the local food bank and donated to causes when she could. But one ordinary afternoon, a single act of generosity would set off a chain of events she could never have imagined. It started with a cup of coffee. Emma was at her favorite cafe, enjoying her usual latte, when she noticed a man sitting by the window. He looked tired, his clothes were worn, and he clutched a weathered notebook in his hands. He seemed lost in thought, occasionally scribbling something down. Emma felt a nudge of empathy. She approached the counter and asked the barista to add a sandwich and another coffee to her bill, instructing them to deliver it anonymously to the man. The man looked surprised when the barista brought over the food. He glanced around the cafe, his eyes briefly meeting Emma's, but she quickly turned back to her book, pretending not to notice. He nodded to himself, took a deep breath, and began eating. When he finished, he wrote something in his notebook. He folded the page and handed it to the barista. "Give this to whoever bought my lunch," he said. The note read, "Thank you for your kindness. You reminded me that there's good in the world. I've been struggling to finish a project I care deeply about, and today you gave me hope." Emma smiled at the message, but she didn't think much more of it. She left the cafe and returned to her routine, not knowing that her small gesture had sparked something far greater. The man, whose name was Noah, was a struggling writer. He had been working on a children's book for years, but had lost confidence in himself. That day at the cafe, Emma's kindness reignited his belief in his work. Inspired, he went home and poured himself into finishing the book. Months later, the story was published, and it quickly gained popularity for its heartfelt message about kindness and the power of small actions. The book reached a teacher named Sarah, who decided to use it in her classroom to teach her students about empathy and giving back. One of her students, a boy named Liam, was particularly moved by the story. Liam, who had always been quiet and shy, decided to organize a toy drive for children in need. With the help of his classmates, the drive collected hundreds of toys. The drive brought joy to many families during the holiday season. Among the families who received toys was a single mother named Anna and her daughter Mia. Anna, overwhelmed by the generosity, decided she wanted to give back as well. Though she had little to spare, she volunteered at a local shelter, where her warmth and dedication made a lasting impact. Her efforts caught the attention of a community leader who helped her secure a job at a nonprofit organization. This stability allowed Anna to pursue her dream of going back to school. Meanwhile, Emma had no idea about the ripple effect her small act had created. One day, while browsing in her library, she noticed a children's book on display. The cover looked familiar, and when she picked it up, she saw Noah's name. She read the dedication. "To the stranger who reminded me of the good in the world. This book exists because of you." Emma was stunned. She reached out to Noah through his publisher, and they reconnected. Noah told her about how her gesture had changed his life, and how the story of his book had inspired so many others. Emma was humbled and deeply moved. In the following years, Emma and Noah teamed up to promote acts of kindness. They organized community events, giving talks about how generosity, no matter how small, can make a difference. Together, they watched as the seeds of kindness continued to grow.